Welcome along to Birmingham. It's the IBSA World Games match number 2 in Group A between England and Japan. We've already seen one match taking place today. It finished Morocco 1, Sweden 1, also in Group A, and now it's the time for the English and Japanese women's players in this blind football tournament. It's taking place in the University of Birmingham. Been heavy rainfall throughout the morning so far, but the England supporters, it hasn't dampened their spirits. There's a few in today with the England flag there, the 3 lions, and the lionesses are embracing now, ready for the national anthems along with Japan.
For the national anthem of England. And now the national anthem of Japan.
The national anthems of England and Japan ahead of today's match.
Starting with England. In goal, number 13.
Let's go through the 2 sides then that are going to start this match off. 1 keeper, 4 outfield players for both sides, of course. Starting with England. Goalkeeper will be number 13, Katie Christopher. Number 4 is Ayman Hafiz. Number 11, Emma Stead. Number 9 is Samantha Goff. Number 5 is Alice Hopkins. Subs are Megan Brearley, wearing number 1. She's the sub goalkeeper. Natasha Mead, sub, and wearing number 3. Number 2 is Selina Prieto. And number 7 is Wucja Viavantovic. The head coach is Michelle Wilcock, and the guide is Tony Larkin. That's your England starting side then. And, fancy their chances of going pretty far in this tournament. Dixie Dean, a former England player, is alongside me. The players are gathering now with the pennants and the flags. So let's take a check on the Japanese starting side. Number 1 is Rina Waki. Number 7, Meiko Takuchi. Number 8, Rika Suzuki. Number 10 is Sopa Kikushima. Number 14 is Haruka Wagasukic. And the subs, Michiko Terabashi, Miwako Kaga, Ichika Tanaka and Hana Shimatani.
The
head coach, Natsuki Hamamoto, and the guide is Kichiro Iatomi.
Technical assistants, Yuki Saito. The doctor, Takagi Tamawakara.
Japanese players applauding. There's lots of excitement ahead of this fixture. Two very good sides.
Introducing Team Japan.
Dixie, who are you backing to win this one then?
Right, well, my heart is saying England, my head is saying Japan. Unfortunately, in this one, Japan are probably on paper the strongest of the two sides. The Japanese have been playing the game for a lot longer than what the English girls have. They were formed about 2 years ago, so they're very much in their infancy as a football team, but they're progressing well. They've got a little bit of experience here. Katie Christopher, the goalkeeper, she plays in the men's league, blind league in England as well, so she's a quality goalkeeper, which will certainly help. And also they got one of the coaches, Tony Larkin. He is in England, Mr. Blind Football, been involved in the game for longer than me. In fact, he was the person who got me involved in it. So Tony's been in blind football for must be nearly 30 years, I would think. So
well, that's an exciting day ahead of us here in Birmingham. As I say, we've already seen Morocco against Sweden and one apiece. Morocco did dominate that game, but conceded in the first half, but equalised with a sensational goal. But I do recommend you take a check on if you can catch the highlights of that one. Now it's England against Japan. Later on in the blind women's tournament, we've got Germany against Argentina and Austria against India. The first referee is Julia Calbo from Germany. Second referee is Natalia Molina from Chile. Just to further underline, Dixie, how international this tournament is, and the entire games, of course, the IBSA World Games. Just a fantastic event, and you can really feel the energy building as the day's gone on around the Athletes' Village just now, can't you?
yeah, the atmosphere. I'm stopping in the village, and the atmosphere around there, when you've got the teams all intermingling and the officials. I think, like for the blind football, there's 26 referees, and they're from all parts of the world, and all the different languages. And there is a football language which is everyone understands, so everyone's getting on really well with one another. Julia, the first referee on this game, is from Germany. She's a very strong referee. I've refereed with her in Austria many years ago when she was just starting out. She's a good referee. The young lady from Chile, I don't know, but I'm sure she'll be a good referee as well.
We're almost set to get underway then in this second match in Group A. Dixie Dean, the former England goalkeeper, alongside me, Rob Scanlon, joining you live in Birmingham, the UK's second city, hosting this fabulous event. Women's blind football tournament. England against the much fancied Japanese side. Very stern early test, as Dixie mentions, for the English. But a good barometer of where they are in terms of progress. Very still day here in Birmingham. Grey skies overhead. We've had a lot of rain, but not anymore. England are in the predominantly white kit with the blue names and numbers on the back. Navy blue shorts, white socks, kicking from right to left in this first half. Japan in their all blue strip with white trim, white numbers on the back of their shirts. 4G pitch here in Birmingham, so artificial grass. And the white lines marked out for the attacking thirds, the defensive thirds, and of course the middle third, which is where the ball is at the moment. Takechi Mako, the Japanese number 7, and the captain's armband on her left sleeve. Over to the left-hand side, and Wagasuki Haruka challenged, and there's a bit of a pause in play as Alex Hopkins shields the ball away from Haruka. Haruka's got support there from Mako. It's right by the far sideboard at the moment. Japan cut in field though, and an opportunity for a shot, and a fabulous goal inside the opening 90 seconds. Kikushima Sora let fly, and there was no stopping that. Katie Christopher tried to dive up to her left-hand side, but it went into the top corner, and Kikushima Sora gets Japan, the much-fancied Japan, up and running almost instantaneously in their first match.
What a fabulous goal by the number 10 there. She's absolutely leathered that. Great bit of skill. Didn't need a touch either. She just hit it on the fall, and tremendous goal indeed. So England need to regroup here now. Don't give up on the game plan. The game plan was there at the start. It'll still be there now. So just need to put that behind them and just restart the game. 0-0. Get on with it.
Kikushima Sora then with that fabulous goal. And Japan's tournament is up and running straight away. It's back with their goalkeeper, Hachi Rina. Gets the ball over halfway line. Ayman Hafiz. And the English defence can't quite collect the ball. So it's with Takuchi Mako, the number 7 for Japan, back into the middle third. Goes towards the far side board, but challenged. And there's 4 white England shirts around her. But there's the goal scorer, Sora. Another chance for a shot here on the edge of the D! And that's a good save, I think, in the end. Or did she get a touch? She just hit the outside of the post. But Kikushima Sora has made her intentions very clear in this game. A fabulous goal, and very nearly a second. Not much of a backlift there at all, just really venomous hit. And again she's forcing a save from Katie Christopher. An acute angle on this near side. She's close to the near sideboard now, Sora, and it's a decent cross. It's Wagasuki Haruka tries to gather. She's hugging the far sideboard at the moment. Now it's with Mako. Chance of a shot from a central position, and it's wide of the left post of Katie Christopher, but it's all Japan so far. Samantha Goff, the number 9 for England, goes to ground on the far sideboard, and Mako emerges with the ball for Japan. But Goff gets back at it. And now Alice Hopkins can come over halfway, but she's challenged by Sora, the goal scorer. And it's congested in that middle third. It's back in the England defence now. Ayman Hafiz. She's inside her own penalty area. She's been urged to pass the ball back to her goalkeeper, but she's lost control of it. And the ball is scooped into the net there by Sora, who took advantage of some hesitation in the England defence. Kikushima Sora has a double, and Japan lead by 2-0, and we haven't played 4 minutes. Unfortunately, Hafiz lost track of the ball. The ball was stationary, so it wasn't making a noise, and it was loose for Sora to pounce and swivel and hit into the top left-hand corner of Katie Christopher's goal. And again, the goalkeeper could do very little about it.
No, it's just lack of communication amongst the English players. They're not telling each other where they are and sort of going to sleep on, in defensive areas. Katie Christopher had no chance at all. That was absolutely leathered into the top corner. They really need to communicate that much more.
Inauspicious start then for the host country. England 2-0 down to a very dangerous looking Japanese outfit. Heavy collision on this near sideboard, but Nagasuki Haruka comes away with the ball. The ball stationary near halfway. It's 50-50, which Samantha Goff does well to win for England. But again, they're penned back here. And Kikushima Sora, she's got 2 already, sniffing a hat-trick. She's got her back to goal. She's forced back into the middle third. She goes from the far side to the near sideboard, laces it across. An attempted switch doesn't come off on this occasion, and it's back with Katie Christopher, all in pink, the England goalkeeper, beaten twice already with 2 fine strikes by Kikushima Sora, the Japanese number 10, who's on the ball now and switching the play from the far side to the near sideboard. Nestles on this near board, and there's Mako collecting the ball, getting towards the penalty area, had a swing, just missed. That would have been close as well. More defensive work for Alice Hopkins to do on the far side, but again she's under pressure from Mako. Close to her own byline here. She turns away from Mako. She plays it back sensibly to her goalkeeper, Katie Christopher, who can launch it left-footed downfield. It's towards this near side. It's going to roll out for a Japanese restart, which will be taken by goalkeeper Wachi Rina. So all Japan, as Mako switches the ball from the near side to the far side, and the Blues kicking from left to right. Well, threatening once again in the England defensive third. There's an England St George's flag in the seats behind the far sideboard. So it's not being waved around at the moment. As another attack and another goal. It's a hat-trick. Kikushima Sora laced it in again, right-footed. Understated celebration considering she has got a hat-trick in the IBSA World Games. 3 absolutely blistering hits to the left-hand side of Katie Christopher again. It's England 0, Japan 3. A timeout and a breather needed for England here.
Yes, I think England need to regroup and get their communication going. I'm sure Tony will be talking to them and saying, communicate. I can nearly lip read what he's saying, and it is that they need to communicate that much better. A little bit more movement.
Well, it's a 6-minute hat-trick. Let's take a look at the goals, shall we? Tony Larkin not happy, the England coach, but Kikushima Sora, right foot it into the top left-hand corner for the first one. Then she cut in from the far side and smashed it in. Coach absolutely delighted. That was the first goal. This is the second one. The ball was stationary. Ayman Hafiz didn't know where it was. Kikushima Sora got there first, swiveled, and in one movement, after one touch, slap into the top left-hand corner again. And Katie Christopher on her knees, unable to do anything, and then cutting inside, Sora just almost with a bit of fade, that shot with the outside of the boot. Nice finish to the left again of Christopher for 3-0. All 3 scored by Kikushima Sora. And it's Japan, who, as I mentioned, are ranked joint #1 in the world, and they are showing exactly why. They've only just played 6 minutes. Timeout finished. No substitutions made by a shell-shocked England so far. Infringement on halfway. Restart to Japan. Takuchi Mako will take it. Wagasuki Haraka with her right on the halfway line, close to this near sideboard. Good run from Mako, has a shot from a good 8 or 9 metres out, drags it wide of Christopher's left-hand post. No goals yet for Mako, but she's looked dangerous as well. As England tried to launch a counter-attack, but they can't do so, and it's Japan who come again. It's the sub, Tanaka Ichika. He's come on for the hat-trick hero. So a bit of respite for England here, in that Sora's off the pitch. Ichika taking her place. Here's Mako though with a shot down to Christopher's right hand side. Good stop with the right leg outstretched. It was a low effort, driven in with her left foot. Goes out to the far side. The ball's still in play. Ball's still in play and close to being a corner there, but it's kept in play. And Ichika, the sub, has a shot, blocked well by Hafiz, who tries to complete the clearance, can't do so. And there's another shot to Christopher's right-hand side, this time by Mako. And it rolls wide of the post, narrowly wide. And another effort, more danger signs. Japan are buoyant and very fluent in this opening half of their tournament so far, leading by 3-0 against England here in Birmingham. Samantha Goff surrounded by 4 blue Japanese shirts near sideboard. In England attacking third, but she does well in the end. She wins a corner, runs the ball against the defence. Suzuki Orika there blocking her path to goal. So a corner for England and a chance to take a breath and try and compose themselves. Another start from Japan, 3-0 up. Here's Samantha Goff, tall, number 9. In the middle third, she had to retreat there. It's now by the near sideboard, and Ichika, Japanese sub, tries to hurdle a couple of challenges. Marshalled well by Hafiz. He's again just as the ball slows to a stop, loses track of where it is, and the decision goes against her. Looks like they're going to make a sub here, England, for the first time. Number 7, Wucia Vivantovic. He's preparing to come on.
Number 11, Emma Stead out. Number 7,
and the pink trainers, Vivantovic, the neon green flashes. She comes on for Emma Stead, who makes way for now. So the first sub for England. Vivantovic looks like she's going to go into central defence. Hafiz just ahead of her. Alice Hopkins slightly ahead of her, and Samantha Goff, nice forward-thinking player in England's team. Restart for England. taken by Katie Christopher, the goalkeeper. Underarm throw to the far sideboard, trickles along the board and looks like it's going to go out for a Japanese ball restart. Taken quickly by Rina. Fills it to the number 7, Mako. Cuts in field from the near to the centre. And Ayman Hafiz loses her footing and collides into Vivantovic. And there's a referee timeout here, with England trailing by 3-0 in their opening Group A game of this tournament. Kikushima Sora, a 6-minute hat-trick. Long way back for England in this game. And they've got a free kick to defend here as well, which Mako is going to take. It's just a yard outside the attacking third for Japan. Pretty central, slightly closer to the near sideboard. Mako takes it. She runs towards the penalty area, blocked by the sub Vivantovic. He does well. And it's going to go all the way back to Katie Christopher in the goal. Clips it forward to Samantha Goff, right on halfway. Lovely turn. Goff tries to wriggle clear, and I think she was getting her shirt pulled there by Haruka, but referee says no.
Yeah, I agree with you, Rob. There was definitely a little tug on Samantha's shirt there, so referee officials have missed that one, but hey-ho.
And it's Japan who counter-attack down their right-hand side, this near side, with Mako. Keeps it in field brilliantly. Left-footed effort, deflection, and out for a corner. There's a cross goal. It's an England body in the way. Vivantovic, the sub, just getting a deflection on that. It's going to be a corner on the far side, the Japanese left flank. And Japan who lead by 3-0. Corner breaks down and it's with Goff in the middle third. Skirting along the near sideboard, she's crowded out and it's back with Japan now, and Mako has a shot from long range and it dribbles wide of the left-hand post of Katie Christopher, all on the ground. And the score remains 3-0. Well, a bit more encouragement, Dixie, for England, but not really testing the goalkeeper.
No, they've sort of settled themselves down at the back a little bit more. But yeah, Japan have taken the hat-trick hero off the pitch. They're going to protect her for later on in the tournament, which is understandable.
Lots of support for both sides. Obviously, there's quite a few England followers here as well, members of the other teams competing in the tournaments over the next fortnight, as Japan come forward, and there's the shot, and there's the fourth goal. Wagasuki Haruka to the left-hand side of Katie Christopher, who got a bit on it with her foot, but the ball squirmed into the bottom corner, down to her left. Wagasuki Haruka scores, celebrates with the Japanese coaching staff on this near sideboard. And Japan have what you would think is a very unassailable 4-0 lead. And just allowed to drift in from the left. Got inside the penalty area. Low shot. Good direction. Right into the corner. 4-0. England try to respond with Goff. She looks isolated up there up front. She's got 4 blue shirts around her. She's back to goal. Scoops the ball from far side to near, which Hafiz collects. She's closed down quickly. Hafiz facing her own goal in the red boots. Tries to find a fellow player, but she's challenged by Mako. Mako inside the middle third. Now the centre circle, drifting across to the far side. As the wind picks up here in Birmingham slightly. but decent conditions, which the Moroccans and the Swedish didn't have earlier, teaming it down. Rain was falling. There's just been raining goals in this game. Japan leading by 4-0. 6-minute hat-trick from Kikushima Sora, who's been substituted since then. Haruka with the 4th. England really up against it. But they have a free kick, albeit inside their own half. A couple of yards in from the far sideboard. And here's Samantha Goff dribbling with the ball. She goes from left to right towards the far side, and now she's crowded out. The left back position of Japan. Rika challenges for the ball. Goff, hands on the sideboard, moves towards the near side, opens up an opportunity for a shot. It's opened up nicely here. Can she get an effort away? She did, but she just scuffed her shot slightly. Whether she needed to take that with her left foot, she went with the right. It went straight to the goalkeeper, and Rina bowls the ball out quickly, and Japan can counter-attack up the other end. Broken down. Ichika it was who nearly latched onto it and nearly got a shot away herself. But, well, that was the best opening, wasn't it, Dixie, for England and Samantha Goff? She did everything right just up until the finish. Yeah, it was a good run by Samantha. She's quite a strong physical player, and she's holding her own against the Japanese defence, and it was a good run by her, and she just failed in that little bit of contact at the end, a little bit of composure in front of goal. But better by England. England need now to use this as a training game. The result's gone out the window, so use it as a training game. They have a free kick inside their own defensive third. Vivantovic, number 7 for England. Has got the ball and she runs it up to halfway, and she's challenged by 2 Japanese players. Vivantovic up against Haruka now inside the centre circle. Haruka wins the ball, stabs it to this near sideboard, and be picked up the loose ball by Mako, who switches the play to the far side towards the open air stand here with quite a few spectators in, enjoying the action as Haruka bearing down on goal there, just missed her kick as she went to shoot, and Katie Christopher gathers, bowls the ball downfield, but it's going to go all the way through to her opposite number in the Japanese goal.
Timeout, Japan.
Japan call a timeout with a minute and 25 left on the clock. Japan lead 4-0. Sora with a hat-trick, Haruka with the second. And we'll have this timeout then, Dixie, and a chance again to pause, but I think obviously with Kikushima Sora off the field, the threat has not completely extinguished, but it's certainly reduced a little bit. Yeah, the threat's diminished a tad there, but I think rather than sort of looking at England and what they can do, you have to sit back and look at the Japanese side and admire the way they play their football, the way they move the ball around. They're switching from side to side, very strong in and around the box, well drilled, defend well, and attacking numbers. All the goals that they've scored have been, giving Katie no chance at all. So she's got nothing to reproach herself about. You just have to sit back and admire the Japanese, the way they play. They're a really, really good team. First time the IBSA World Games have been held in the UK. First time there's been an athletes' village as well for all the players to commune and eat and drink together and make friendships and stuff like that. And you could really feel it in the interval between the Sweden-Morocco game in this match. See all the players proudly wearing their tracksuits with a the countries, or the Italian team and the Japanese team obviously coming across to warm up, and big smiles on everyone's faces, and Japan certainly enjoying it here in Birmingham at the moment as the shot comes in from close range there. Ichika, and it was well smothered by Katie Christopher in the England goal. England from right to left in this first half, trailing by 4-0 inside the final minute of their opening game in Group A. They've got a corner. On the England right, far side. Japanese keeper Rina organising her wall. 4 players in it. Just waiting for an eye guard to be reset here in the Japanese side. Hence the pause in play at the moment. Mentioned earlier that this campus was used for parts of the Commonwealth Games last year. Really good facilities here in Birmingham. The city's very proud to be hosting the World Games. The host nation at the moment having a difficult time of it. Is Samantha Goff under pressure from Kikushima Sora, who's come back onto the field. The star of the show so far, and she concedes this free kick against Goff. There's Mako who's gone off for Japan, and Sora coming back on. Shimatani Hana is also on the field for Japan, so a couple of subs made in that timeout. Haruka, the other one to make way for Japan as we approach the last 20 seconds in this first half. Ball being contested on the near sideboard in the Japanese defensive third. Sora facing the sideboard, tries to wriggle away from Goff, gets the ball clear, breaks kindly to Shimatani Hana, the sub, who can't add to the Japanese scoreline, but coaching staff, the players from Japan will be absolutely thrilled with their first half. A blistering start. 3 goals inside the first 6 minutes, all from the lady on your screen, Kikushima Sora. Left England with everything to do. Wakasuki Haruka made it 4-0. And yes, a chastening first half for England, Dixie Dean.
Yes, indeed. The girls didn't start very well at all.
Goals on your screen at the moment. Real power in that shot from Sora. Great celebration as well. And then the ball was just idle on the floor there, that Hafiz had lost track of it. And when it's loose, Sora's got to it first. Little touch on the ball, a turn and a snapshot into the top left-hand corner of Katie Christopher's goal. That made it 2. And she drifted infield, and again, right-footed, fierce drive to the left of Christopher. Made it 3-0, despite a bit of pressure. She knew where the goal was, and it was a fine strike. And then to complete the scoring in the first half, Haruka with a low drive this time. Not as much power, but she got the direction right, and it squirmed past Katie Christopher, who was pretty frustrated with that one in the England goal. So Haruka made it 4-0. So the hosts are off to a pretty bad start here but Japan showing exactly why they are very much fancied for this tournament. Let's see what the second half brings. It's half time here in Birmingham. England 0, Japan 4. Welcome back to the University of Birmingham Sports Campus. It's the IBSA World Games Blind Women's Football Tournament. Match number 2 of the day. We're halfway through it. If you're an England fan, I'm afraid it's been very difficult for the English so far. 4-0 they trail the world number 1 ranked Japanese side. And a hat-trick inside 6 minutes for Kikushima Sora. Change of captain in the second half for England. Ayman Hafiz is the regular captain, but she's been substituted, so Samantha Goff has got the captain's armband on. Japan kicking from right to left in this second half in their all-blue kit with the white trim and the white numbers on the back of their shirts. England in their home kit of white shirts with blue trim, 3 lions badge on their chests, and the blue shorts with white socks. They're kicking from left to right in this second half. So Japan get us underway and very quickly get a shot on goal from Takuchi Mako, the Japanese captain. It was a good save. Dixie Dean is alongside me, a former goalkeeper for England, and early intervention there from Megan Brearley, the sub-goalkeeper for England.
Yeah, they've changed the goalkeeper at half-time. As I say, I think probably what they'll do, England, is get some minutes in all the players, right across the squad, and they know the game's gone. So they'll give everyone minutes on the pitch to get them used to it and use the game for experience.
Another shot comes in, another save from Megan Brearley. This time it was hit with real force by Mako, who has another try on goal to the left-hand side low of Megan Brearley in the all-pink for England, and a third save already in this second half. So Japan starting where they left off, really. Made a very fast start in that first half, as I mentioned, that 6-minute hat-trick from Kikushima Sora. Wakasuki Haruka scoring the 4th goal for Japan, leading by 4-0 on the 4G pitch here in Birmingham. Overcast day, grey clouds overhead, almost a blanket of grey clouds. Gentle breeze pushing around the campus. Balls with Japan by their defensive third line on this near sideboard. The team that's starting the second half for Japan is goalkeeper number 1 Wachi Rina. Captain is Takuchi Mako, number 7. Number 8 is Suzuki Rika. Number 14, Wakasugi Haruka. And number 13, Shimatani Hana. So that's their starting side, but they've got options on the bench as a shot comes in from Takuchi Mako, which is dragged wide of Megan Brearley's right-hand post. It's taken from about 5 metres out. The subs, Kikushima Sora, who scored that hat-trick. Terabashai Machiko is number 23. Number 5 is Kaga Miwako, and number 16, Tanaka Ichika. And the subs at the moment. As a shot comes in, and there's goal number 5. Shimatani Hana, the number 13, tried her luck low to the right-hand side of Megan Brearley, and it nestled in the bottom corner. Japan have 5. They are dominant here in Birmingham.
And thoroughly deserved. They're by far the better team, and really putting England to the sword, yeah. To say that they're ranked number 1 in the world for a reason, and I just think we've seen 5 reasons why they're ranked number 1.
Left-footed shot and angled across goal. Megan Brearley beaten. So 5-0. And Japan on the offensive again, with Haruka bearing down on goal. Forced to this near sideboard by Viovantovic. And there'll be a stoppage in play, which will allow me to go through the side of England that started the second half. It wasn't the side that started the game, but Megan Brearley's in goal. Number 2 was Selena Prieto. Number 7, Wucia Viovantovic. Number 5 is Alice Hopkins, and number 9 is Samantha Goff. Substitutes are 13 keeper Katie Christopher, who conceded 4 in the first half, but could do very little about any of them. Ayman Hafiz is the number 4 and captain. She's off the field at the moment, as is Emma Stead and Natasha Mead. Here's Alice Hopkins, the England number 5. Shuffling along the far sideboard. She's been able to gain territory here and get into the cusp of the penalty area, and now she's forced to the near sideboard by 3 Japanese blue shirts. But then Goff takes it off her. Goff has a shot, well saved, right on the edge of the goalkeeper's area there, and just Rena was brave there really, because Samantha Goff was so close and very nearly lifted a shot over her, but down went Rena and saved at her feet. And Japan clear their lines, but it's back now with Viovantovic, and a bit of encouragement now for England. Viovantovic in the neon trainers, flashes of pink, green and blue, bit of yellow on there as well. She loses the ball to fellow number 7, Takuchi Mako. Here's Mako into the England defensive third. She gets round 1, has a shot, drags it wide. It's sliced with her left foot to the right-hand post of Megan Brearley's goal. And gives the ball a shake and throws the ball downfield from left to right. Straight back with Japan, though, who lead by 5-0 in this Group A match of the IBSA World Games Women's Tournament. Blind football. Dixie Dean, the former England goalkeeper, alongside me, Rob Scanlon. Very grey day in the UK's second city of Birmingham. Takuchi Mako dribbles her way towards the England penalty area. She's going to shoot here, left-footed, and it's a good save by Megan Brearley to her right-hand side. The ball was lifted and it was heading towards that right corner of the goal. And she made a sprawling stop to her right-hand side there, Dixie, because that was goal-bound again.
Yeah, Megan reacted really quickly there and managed to get her arms up quite high. It looked like she was going to knock it low, but she's pitched the ball up, and it was a good save. She's pushed it up and over the bar. Good save by the England goalkeeper.
They've had a busy day. She's had a busy second half after coming on as a sub, Megan Brearley. Organising a wall here, with Japan taking this corner. The ball rolls from near to far, gets all the way to the sideboard. Taken on by Hannah, number 13 for Japan, just loses track of it slightly but retrieves possession. She's got Samantha Goff for company. She's right by the far sideboard now, just holding on to it, and now gets the ball clearly away from Goff and unloads the ball to Mako, who's going to have another shot, I think, here through the legs of one defender, but then it just rolls into the path of Megan Brearley, and Mako is denied. So the score stays at 5-0. Played 6 minutes of the second half. Inside 6 minutes of the first half, Japan had scored 3. So I suppose that's a bit of progress from an England perspective.
Yeah, indeed, Rob. They've settled down. I think Japan have eased off as well, to be quite honest. But it's important that what the England squad do now is get all the players on the pitch and give everyone minutes. So when they come to play the other 2 teams in the group, everyone's had some minutes on the pitch and they're used to the surface and everything. And I'm pretty sure that that's what they'll do. They'll hopefully not concede many more, and get that little bit of experience in the legs of the England substitutes.
The other teams in this tournament will be taking note of this result, though. In Group B, we'll see them later: Germany, India, Argentina, Austria. Germany looked to be the strongest in that group, but Dixie, you fancy Argentina, do you, to be a decent side as well? So it looks a very strong tournament, and Japan have certainly set their stall out to be one of the favourites. 5-0 they lead England here. Here's Samantha Goff, the forward-thinking England number 9. She's just shepherded towards the near sideboard and loses possession as Wachirina, the Japanese keeper, launches it down the right-hand side. It's a really good ball, actually, taken up by Shimatani Hana. Takuchi Mako, the skipper, is challenged just as she tried to get into the England defensive third central position. She's still got the ball, though, the captain for Japan, and she gets around 2 England players and shoots, and it's saved by Megan Briley to her left. It's going to go back to Mako. She's going to have another attempt, and this time she shoots wide. The right-hand post this time. It's Briley again forced into making a save. 2 England players just got in each other's way as Mako was able to squirm clear, get into the penalty area, took the shot just on the edge of the area, and it was a smart save by Megan Briley. Parried it, and Mako couldn't convert the loose ball. Here come Japan once again, attacking from deep through Hana. Gets over the halfway line, rides the challenger Vivantovic. Hana forced towards this near sideboard, under pressure from Prieto. And the referee, Julia Kalbau from Germany, blows her whistle. And an infringement there goes against England. Prieto was penalised, and it's going to be Haruka, the number 14 for Japan, to take this free kick. Close to the near sideboard, just a couple of yards infield. 3-person wall protecting the near post of Megan Briley's goal. Referee not happy with something. Samantha Goff and Takuchi Mako over on the far side, just out on the edge of the D. I think there was a bit of a coming together there that the referee wanted to nip in the bud. Referee's called that England coaching staff are silent as you await this free kick. The guide is just indicating for Japan where the goal is in relation to the free kick. Let's tap the far post. Haruka and Hana over the ball. Hana has an effort, lacks power, and goes wide. England timeout then, Dixie Dean, and well, not quite the fireworks that we saw in the first half, where Japan came out of the blocks absolutely flying. Kikushima Sora with that hat-trick. Based on what you've seen of the other 2 teams, Morocco, Sweden, well, you'd have to say Japan obviously look, the best by some distance, but Morocco looked pretty dangerous earlier, considering the things they had to deal with, the visa issues, meaning that they had, if you missed it earlier, that they had an outfield player playing in goal, and they only had 3 outfield players available to them.
Yeah, as we discussed earlier, evidently there was some visa issues with the Moroccan team, so they've come with no goalkeepers, and means they've only got 4 players for the whole tournament, which is tough on them. Looking at the group, Japan are going to top the group. Let's be fair, they're the best team in the group. So everyone else is fighting for second place to go through into the semi-finals. But I think England are capable of beating Morocco, and they're certainly capable of beating Sweden. So I know the England coaching staff will be looking at this and saying, right, okay, we'll put this game to bed and we'll move on tomorrow, and we'll get our 3 points tomorrow, and then move into the semi-finals. I'm sure that's what they're thinking, and I believe that they can do that, no problem at all. Japan, we talked a lot about England, but Japan, they are a fabulous team. Just look at where they strike the ball around the penalty area, the way they dribble the ball. They've been playing for a few years, and it shows. They're much more confident on the ball, and their positioning is much better than the England players, and they're reacting a lot quicker.
England making a sub during this timeout. Natasha Mead comes onto the field, the number 3 for England. So it's Samantha Goff, the number 9, who makes way. Goff's been a threat in this game. She's worked tirelessly for England, but not able to get a consolation for England in this match, so she makes way. And Natasha Mead comes on for her. England's next game is against Morocco, as Dixie mentioned, tomorrow here at the University of Birmingham Sports Campus. They take on Morocco. That's after Japan face Sweden. Sides hoping to qualify for the semi-finals, which take place on the 20th of August, which is this Sunday, with the final being played the following day. So a week today, the final of this football tournament, which Japan will fancy their chances of being in, I'm sure. But they've got a free kick to defend against here. Vivantovic and Hopkins are over the ball, which is inside Japan's defensive third, but only marginally. And there's a 4-person wall in front of their number 1 keeper, Wachi Arena. So it's quite central, slightly closer to this near side. Vivantovic will shoot and misses her kick, and it's trickling towards the corner, and that's going to go out for a corner. Well, Vivantovic had just a half a chance there of getting the shot away, but unfortunately missed her kick.
Yeah, the ball just skidded away from her just as she's about to take the shot. But better by England. They're taking the ball to the Japanese into their half. So it is better.
Here's Vivantovic, the England number 7. Red captain's armband on her right sleeve. She tries to run the corner infield, but misses out, and it goes out for a Japanese restart. There's going to be a timeout here. Just over 6 minutes left in this game. Japan leading by 5 goals to 0. That could have been worse had it not been for Megan Brearley, the sub-goalkeeper in this second half. She's been forced into a few good saves in the England goal. Japan readying a substitution here. Tanaka Ichika, then number 16, is coming on for number 14, Wagasuki Haruka. So Japan shuffling the pack here in Birmingham. Tony Larkin and Michelle Wilcock, the England coaches, handing out instructions to the England team. Not a lot they can do at the moment. It's been a bit of a damage limitation exercise in this second half, and it shows the strength of the Japanese, that Kikushima Sora, the star player, well, we've barely seen her since scoring the hat-trick, have we? She's taken her leave and putting her feet up. Well deserved. Yeah, well, it's sensible coaching, isn't it? She's a fine player. They've won this game in the first 6 minutes, so why take the risk of her getting injured?
get her off and keep her fresh and ready for tomorrow. As we said before half-time, England are definitely using this as a training game, because every player in the squad now has had minutes on the pitch, so which will hold them in good stead for tomorrow.
Japanese coach Yamamoto Natsuki will be delighted with his side's performance. Early start for them tomorrow, though, in their next game. So they need to rest up and get ready for that one, but they look favourites in Group A. Still drizzling here in Birmingham, in the Midlands, in the heart of the country. England, who have the restart, bowled out by Megan Brearley to the near sideboard. Vivantovic loses the ball under pressure from two Japanese players, and here's Mako, the captain, emerging with the ball into the England defensive third. She's going to have another shot, left-footed, I'm sure. She gets close to goal and just clips it wide of Brearley's right-hand post. Great composure shown again there by Mako, and carried the ball very elegantly for missing the target, but not far away. She's bearing down on goal there, and another chance for Japan. This impressive performance. Here's Mako once more. Breaks over halfway, central position, now into the England third, defensive third. She's under pressure, she tries a shot, it's straight at the goalkeeper, Megan Brearley. Well done to Selena Prieto, just put her off, I think, enough there in the England defence. So the shot didn't have the power.
Yeah, the English defenders are getting a little bit closer to the Japanese attackers and putting them under pressure, whereas in the first half they were defending from 2 or 3 metres away, which is no good. They've got to get in close, get a hand on, and, to follow their movement, by touching the shoulder or something. And they are getting a little bit tighter now, which is good to see. They're obviously learned from their mistakes in the first half.
The ball rolls out after a clearance from goalkeeper Rina, and it hits the near sideboard and then is allowed to go out for a England restart. They get the ball downfield to Alice Hopkins, goes to the far sideboard under pressure. There's 4 Japanese players around her, but she does well. Cuts infield towards the penalty area, challenge there, and Suzuki Urika breaks towards the halfway line. Japan try and counter-attack, and it's picked up by Mako, the captain. Dangerous player, slaloms away from Prieto, but Prieto does well. England number 2, solid defensive work from her. She's still got work to do here, under pressure from Mako, right by the near sideboard, close to the corner of the pitch. Mako and Prieto still going at it, trying to squeeze the ball back into play. Mako does well, running right along the byline there, and eventually loses it. In steps Natasha Mead. Mead can't complete the clearance. It's back with Mako, runs into Prieto. Mako still with possession. Mako towards the edge of the penalty area. She's 8 metres from goal. She's held up by Prieto. Mako chops to try and get it back, and it does run into a Japanese possession. Shimatani Hana, but now Mako again goes from the far side to the near side, and she's just eased off it, but then she gets a shot away as the ball just wouldn't go into the goalkeeper's box there, and Megan Brearley couldn't get her hand on it. She wasn't allowed to touch it. Mako seized the opportunity, got a shot in, and well, that was very close, Dixie.
Yeah, the ball was just on the edge. I think she could have picked it up, but she was unsure, so she left it alone, which is probably a wise decision. And the Japanese player got a toe to it, hit the post. So, yeah, bit of a hard one, that one, for the keeper.
Mako again running forward. She's eased off it by Natasha Mead, but the ball's loose. Prieto does well. She picks up possession. Just gets stuck under her foot slightly, and now she's under more pressure from Mako in the middle third. Ball stationary as the two players compete for it. Prieto for England turns away from Mako, runs towards the far side. A little run towards the sideboard. It hits the sideboard now when Alice Hopkins picks up possession. But there's Mako again. She's just been everywhere in this second half. The blue boots on. Takuchi Mako. The ball's loose inside the Japanese defensive third. Right by the sideboard. The player's not quite sure where it is, but now they pick up possession with Ichika. And Mako again. Absolutely everywhere. Ivanovic challenges her, and it goes out for a Japanese restart. We're into the final minute. 5-0 Japan lead, and slightly bizarrely, they're rotating their goalkeeper. Japan, I think, they're making a sub.
Yeah, doing exactly the same as what the England squad did, giving all the girls some minutes on the pitch. Makes
Not
sense.
even a minute.
Yeah, seconds on the pitch. But it just gives them a feel of it and brings them into the tournament. I think the German team have just arrived for the next game. But better by England in the second half. And they've got closer to the Japanese forwards and put a little bit of pressure on the ball. Kanyura Tony larking behind the goal. He's the only person I can hear in the stadium. You can just hear him shouting all the time, giving information out, encouraging the girls, and he's the ideal person for it because Tony's brilliant. Sort of coaching and encouraging people.
Just to confirm that double sub, so the one in goal, Wachirina made way for Terabayashi Machiko, the sub goalkeeper. And also Takuchi Mako has been sensational in this second half. The Japanese skipper, she made way for Kaga Miwako, the number 5 for Japan, who were attacking down the middle. And Ichika went to ground, and it's a foul given against England. So a free kick in a very good position here, Dixie.
Yeah, it's a free kick. It's on 8 or 9 metres out, but
very central.
What pleases me is that England are giving free kicks away on the edge of the box. In the first half, it was just, you go through and score. They weren't getting close to them. At least they're getting close to the players now. And the referees are indicating free kicks, but I'd rather that than the players not get anywhere close to them at all. In fact, it's only 7 metres outside, Rob.
And only 17 seconds left for Japan to get a 6th goal here. Shimatani Hana and Tanaka Ichika are over the ball. 4 in the England wall to Megan Brearley's right hand post. Near where that post is being indicated by the Japanese guide. Ichika happy with where it is. Now told where the left-hand post is. The 4-person wall is all on the goal line. As the shot comes in, and it's a bit of a snatched effort by Ichika, and she admonishes herself there. Decent opportunity spurned, but I'm not sure it's going to affect the final. Points tally as we're into the last few seconds here. Ivanovic deep in England, in Japan's territory, but the ball in a safe zone near the sideboard, and that is full time here in Birmingham. Hosts England against Japan, and being taught a bit of a lesson by the team that are ranked number 1 in the world. The Japanese women were absolutely sensational. Star of the show, Kikushima Sora the number 10 for Japan, who scored a 6-minute hat-trick at the start of the first half, put the game to bed pretty much straight away. England had absolutely no answer to Japan, who were brilliant today, and work for England to do, I'm sure, if they're to qualify from Group A. It's the first match of their tournament done and dusted. The players just gathering on the field now, with the coaching staff coming on as well. The two players gathered in their respective huddles, and the Japan side lining up. Dixie, give us your thoughts.
Well, it was a chastening experience for the English players, I'm sure. I don't expect they've ever come up against a team like that. In fact, I know they haven't come up against a team like that before. But, you know, for them to improve, you need to play the best, and Japan are the best. And the girls, you know, they'll be disappointed and they'll go away and, you know, sort of a bit down for half an hour, but I'm sure the coaching staff will pick them up. There was no disgrace to lose that scoreline. They could have done better in that first 6 minutes. They didn't start particularly well. Looking at the goals now, Rob.
Yeah, so number 10, Sora, rifling the ball into Megan Brearley's left-hand corner, and then the second one capitalising on a loose ball, a turn and a snapshot into the top corner again. As soon as she took a touch, that instinct, that goal scorer's instinct, then turning, and with that shot it high into the top corner, she couldn't have placed it any better. Katie Christopher couldn't do anything about that one, and it was Sora who made it her hat-trick, cutting in from the far sideboard, again on that right foot. Fierce drive into Katie Christopher's goal. Haruka made it 4 at half-time. Again, cutting in from that far side. This time a low drive that Christopher couldn't save. Just the one goal in the second half. Shimatani Hannah with a nice finish with her left foot past Megan Brearley, who made plenty of good saves in that second half. That full stretch to her right-hand side couldn't prevent Japan from making it 5-0. We hope you've enjoyed the coverage. Dixie Dean alongside me will be here for duration of the tournament. We've got some more games to look forward to later on. Germany, India, Argentina, Austria, all in action in Group B. So the scorelines from Group A, Morocco and Sweden was 1-1. Here in Birmingham, second match finished England 0, Japan 5. We'll see you again soon.